What? Good morning. Can everyone hear me? Testing. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Okay. All right, AMD's in supply. I'm bearish below 462. Microsoft is literally like right at the 200-day moving average, which has historically been rejection territory. So we can see a rejection here, and realistically, I'm bearish until we exceed the we break above and base above the 440, which has been my original thesis for 2 weeks. Let's see what we got here. We got a breakout. This is what we needed to see. So we need to see a gap and go, to be honest, in my opinion. This needs to be, you know, a close at low day, gap up, rally all day. And we need to break some key levels. Right now, QQQ is literally at resistance of 674. We can see a little bit of a break above. I'll get bullish above 676. Until we're above 676, I'm bearish below. Okay. So realistically, you have an opportunity to probably just take a like one contract tomorrow expiration in the money, like 676 QQQ put, and just hold it until we break above this. You could literally like that can be your hedge for the day in case you were predominantly long. And let's see what VIX is. I'm not answering any questions for the first like 2 hours, guys. I'm going to focus on this. Is that fucking wow? That wick candle's wild. Realistically, so there's supply up here. Get rid of that, get rid of that, clean this up. Nothing there, nothing there. I guess there's a little bit of supply here. Microsoft's already quite rejected, but okay, let's see what we got here. Discord, at the open, close your SPY calls immediately. I'm looking at QQQ puts. I'm going to take just one. I'm already up like over 3 bands on the morning just from the overnight trades. So I'm of the belief of same thing as yesterday. Pretty much the trade's already done today. So I'm going to look for maybe 1 or 2 trades. I'm thinking Microsoft if we get above that gold line, and then I'm going to take a hedge on QQQ. If they continue rocking it to the upside, then I'm not going to get any trades. I'll get stopped out of the QQQ. So I'm looking at July 31st, QQQ 676 puts. Hopefully these aren't as inflated as they look right now, because right now they say 1600 before the market opened. They shouldn't be nothing like that though. It should be down like 70%. You know, I'm predominantly bearish below 676 and 736 on SPY. SPY could come up to this 741, 742 area. This is like my extremely bearish below. If we can base above this and base above this, then they might flip this green into tomorrow even. It looks like Microsoft just blasted up. I'm going to take a short on Microsoft as well. Microsoft and then QQQ like right at the open. Look at this. It's right above it. And then like 440, look at tap the 440 and it rejected immediately. The freaking spread on Microsoft is probably going to be so big. Be careful. Don't just smash the ask. It might literally be over $1 spread. But like tomorrow expiration, like 430s, or actually if there's today, let's see. Okay, so it's only 2 more expirations. So I'm gonna look at like 430, 430s, 425. I don't know. We could probably go really cheap so that you're not risking too much. What have we got right here? 425. I'm gonna look at 425s. I'm gonna get in the QQQ put first, and then I'm gonna look at the Microsoft just because of the spread on Microsoft is probably gonna be concerning. What? Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I didn't get an entry. Buy your QQQ put if you can. Mine didn't enter yet. All right. I think I got in. Okay, I just got in at 639. Now let me look at this Microsoft. 425. They're like 375. Oh, that's perfect. 335 even? Okay. I'm in. What in the world's going on here? All right, I got in I think at like $3. Let's see. All right, 590 292 on Microsoft as my cost basis and 639 on QQQ as my cost basis. Yeah, we're running a risk of rejection like right away. I'm closing the SPY calls. I forgot they're up 40%. Discord. Okay, I just close them. Microsoft on 12%. That is wild. It's sitting at my 440 level and I take one more ad. I think I got it for like 180, 175. Okay. Now I just sit on my hands. Okay. Cost basis on Microsoft is 249. Cost basis on QQQ is 639. So essentially my only two trades today, guys. It's like it went straight up. There's like I have to go on the 30-second timer for there even being an ascending on Microsoft. All right, there we go. %14 is wild. literally blasted through that. Never mind. .3%. We'll have to close this, guys. Weird. So I said for them to be bullish, we have to clear yesterday's high. And it looks like QQQ is trying to do that. So we might have to close these positions. I mean, the Microsoft already got decimated. They're down to like 0.70, but doesn't mean it can't go higher. But we're getting really close to literally the high of day yesterday on QQQ. Because if we breach this red, then I think SPY goes to 741. Yeah. You see how they did, like, the easy trade was literally overnight. It's so wild how they're doing this. Let's see here. Got all these rallying. So essentially, QQQ broke the downtrend. You can see the downtrend had been the white line, and now it's going for a breach right here. The QQQ puts are down 21%. I think I'm going to close them at 30% down. So that should give a leeway to that high right there. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, look at that. They're like doing the opposite of yesterday where they knife dropped it the whole time. Where are we at? We're at 27%. It's wild. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on what the market's going to do. Yeah. I figured what we'd have to do is we'd have to gap and go over yesterday's high, and it looks like that's what we're going to get. Like the majority of the easy trading was in the overnight, like made like 370% plus trades, and now they're just squeezing right here. My thesis at the beginning of the week was we would rally into Friday and then we'd crash next week. Unfortunately, they did one of those crazy drops yesterday. I still think that might be what happens here. I think they might just hold it near the highs today. And then by the end of the day tomorrow, screw everyone. Because we're getting to the point where it's kind of wild here. We'll give it till like 10:30. And then as long as we're not squeezing too much. Because right now, SPY is in supply, but if QQQ makes another high here, I think SPY might go to 741, which was my like line in the sand. We do have a Head and Shoulders sitting here on Microsoft. They usually don't play out, but man, it's up 15% and at its third point of resistance. And there's like a 3 resistance and 3 support rule that I like to play around. And typically, if something breaks 2 in one day, the third one is where it finally rejects. So I'm kind of watching this here because of this resistance right here at the purple line. We can't be in same days. These same days will literally destroy you. It's wild. Yep, there's the failure. All right. It's probably ideal just to close everything. That's really unfortunate. $741. It looks like that's what it wants. It just hit the 10 o'clock number. We can see if we top out here, but this is not looking promising. I mean, QQQ is at 3%. There's no way it goes right on the day now. That would be like somebody should go to jail if that happened. Right. AMD is up 12%. Ooh wee. That's beautiful. One day late on that one. Tesla's chilling too. Yeah. I don't think it'll be a strong reversal if it does come, guys. But we shall see. You know, essentially we've come too far. SPY QQ being up 3%. I think dips get bought, and SPY sees that 741 today at some point. They're not going to let shorts get their money back. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that's my other resistance. You can see Microsoft's immediately at its next resistance point. Got to see what happens here. AMD for a 12% rally. Where are we going at? It's now in its next supply zone. Let me make sure it's high volume. Okay, yes. Can rising wedge. Microsoft selling off a bit. Dip will probably get bought though. We shall see what happens here. We have tomorrow expiration. Look at SPY, literally just back to the highs. That 741 seems like a magnet, doesn't it? So AMD for a quick short could be just an ascending support because it's in supply as well. See how it's just now breaking down. You could do that for a quick scalp trade. It's up 12%. That's outside of its daily range or average parabolic candle range. Here's the attempt on a sell off. Once we get like $2 away from the high, we should not reapproach it. If we reapproach it, it's making new highs. So we got 739 on SPY. So once we get under 737, right around here on my measured move, if we get under that and it starts to breach the highs, then it's a trap and we're going to new highs. I bought an AMD 445 tomorrow expiration, put at 160 at 150. I just want to see if this breaks down to the white line. I bought a couple. They're only $1.50. If SPY or QQQ just literally slingshot back to the highs, I'm going to close the AMD put. I'm going to hold the Microsofts. Their tomorrow expiration. The AMD is also tomorrow expiration. Actually, all three of them are. I don't want to re-add because I was significantly green this morning at the open. So I'm only looking to just, well, at this point, just recover a little bit of what I lost. But if we start making new highs here, I'm just going to close it out and close the day green. Maybe come back at the end of the day and see if there's anything, any place. VIX dropped down to 18, which is historically where it'll drop to. I think that's actually where the last one dropped to when we had that parabolic move. Let's see what we got here. So over here, it went up and then it dropped down to around the 18 level. You see both of these 18 levels and then it rallied again. What day is that? Monday, June 8th. Nothing spectacular. 18 to 19 essentially. Yeah, you can literally see them all starting to power up again. I think I'm about to close this AMD call for like a 10% loss. 5% loss. Oh, there we go. We're back to green. Okay, now SPY and QQ are trying to make a new low. Let's see if anything happens. I'm going to go ahead and close the AMD call at 156 for like 1 or 2% profit. I don't want to have all these positions open. I think it will reject 1 or 2%, but I'm going to go back to the basis of the market's not been playing very nice lately. So I closed that at like 1 or 2% profit, and I'm just sitting in the tomorrow expiration QQQ and Microsoft's. We need a real drop. My cost basis is 199 on Microsoft. Yeah, when they do slow moves like this, it's just them building liquidity. They're trying to get people to go short and then they're going to take it higher. That's what I'm thinking right now. And then now they're building a fucking Head and Shoulders, which I hate Head and Shoulders. This seems sketchy, as always. Statistically, you can literally long the inverse of whatever it shows. So right now, let's say we longed at 737.92. Let's see if that works. I'm talking like 95% of the time, it's a freaking trap. 2 to 1 on inversing it. Let's see if it hits. Oh my god, I freaked out for a second there. Man, if I would have held the calls, the SPX calls, that would have been nuts. They would have been up 400%. From $700 a contract to 4,200. What is that? 800%. It was a good call to get out of the AMD. It made a new high. Yeah, our SPX calls that we traded for 70% this morning went from 700. We sold them at like 1,600. They went to they're at 4,200 right now. 800%. Ooh-wee. Wild stuff. All right, let me look at some of the other names. What we got going on here? Baba churning sideways. Neo not doing anything. Mara rallied 16% after going like 20% under the buy zone. Hut's up 17%. All the miners are up 20%, 15 to 20%, except MSTR, which is chilling at like 2%. Okay, there we go. We got a breakdown. Is this Head and Shoulders actually going to play out, guys? Oh my god. Got the 5%. You got to get a candle close under it, though. Is the candle close going to close under it? We're going to wick. Ah, there's the wick. A little liquidity sweep on the longs. And then they take it higher after they stop out the longs. Let's see if that happens. I'm interested to see. It's also at Head and Shoulders on Microsoft, Micro D. Should we try our hands at the AMD calls now again? Now that they swept the high? Should we do it? I think I'm going to try. What was it? 465 or something like that? 455? Yeah, let's do 455s. All right, I purchased at 218. Bought a couple of them. All right, so we're in a supply zone. Preferably, I don't want to see it past the 61% retracement. So we're around that level. So if we get above about here, I'm just going to close it. And then that's my last extra trade. Other than that, I'm just holding the other ones. Which, if we start breaching this high, I'm just going to close the QQQ calls and then I'm going to sit on the Microsoft. It may just be a trend day. And they need to go to the maximum damage, screw the other side, and then I honestly still think by next week we crash and burn. We're just getting that relief rally. Oh wow, it's going to stop me out that quick. All right then, AMD. Let's see if we get a candle close up there. Man, that was volatile too. Liquidity sweep, no candle close. Now back to the highs. Probably going to mess around and do a new high. Think like a market maker. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and sell at 205 on AMD for just a couple of percent loss. All right, so that's enough trading for me. I'm just literally sitting on these two now. I like traded off the AMD trades, right? I took like 1 and 1 for like 4% win and then 4% loss. If it rejects here, whatever. It's literally out of its range, but once again, the market's not playing nice, and I'm on the wrong side of it apparently at the market open. So let's see. The overnight options, TVBS and Discord. So we did a SPY call overnight, and then I took two SPX trades with you guys, and I did a third one by myself. But I announced both of those trades in Discord in the intraday alerts, and both of them went out for over 70%. So I was significantly green at the open, and I wanted to just take 1 or 2 trades, but I didn't expect it to literally blast through all these levels. And we're sitting here, and like the cutoff zone was 676, so we should have closed already $5 ago. Very silly of me to hold on, but as SPY just sits in resistance, it's like, which one is faking it? And then VIX is literally, this is the wild thing. VIX has been sitting at $18 while QQQ rallied $3. What? So there's a lot of like indicators not working right now. Like VIX should have made a new low when QQQ made a new high. But since it did not, I'm like, okay, fake breakout. So I'm trading like collectively like 5 different things as a formula that I usually do. Look at that. AMD's literally just squeezing. But I usually use like five things as a formula for reversals or breakouts, etc. And they're kind of not working right now. So they're kind of screwing me on the day trading aspect. Which given, I mean, we're just sitting on our hands with the investment side, right? Waiting to see if our other levels get triggered. But the beginning of the week we were doing good, and now like yesterday, I mean, honestly, last night it was a blessing. We closed red on the day, and then we went green in the after hours from all 3 of those trades, the SPY calls and the SPX calls. But now like we have to be careful with this. QQQ, what did it do? Drop $2 and reclaim $2? Yep. So it's going to go for a new high. I think I'm done with this. It just swept it. Very impressive. Market makers are playing wild games right now. Let me fix that. All right. Meta was at a bottom 2 that I thought was interesting. It's still sitting at negative 9%. Yeah. Let's see if I see anything. Make sure I have my levels over here. Intel squeezing. All right, so there's a strategy for 1030 that has a pretty high win rate, and it's essentially you draw the lines of the high of the day and low of the day, and then you use that as support, like an SR flip. So if we break above this at 1030 and we sit and we close a couple candles above it, it's likely going to grind higher. But after 1030, now this acts as a pretty strong resistance for the intraday move. So we can look to see if there's a rejection, and that's a pretty decent day trading strategy. And then QQQ goes and rips it. I almost doubted myself with the QQQ wanted 690 after that knife drop yesterday. All right, I'm going to put this a stop loss for 264 on these QQQs. I'm going to take the loss on it if it triggers, which it looks like it's literally about to trigger now. If it just looks like the SPY wants it's 741 and QQQ is going to do whatever it needs to get there. So, all right, 264 is my stop loss. It's literally at 269. It's probably about to trigger. I'm only got the Microsoft puts. I've given about 50% back on the day of what we made this morning in the overnight. And that's all I'm willing to risk. Now VIX is about to break that low. If VIX breaks that low, we should see a continuation and squeeze. All right, let's take a look on the zoom out. What do we got? We got double supply here. This is pretty strong. We got this here. I think this one's deleted elsewhere. Okay. So it just says see a bitch. Yeah, we're seeing the base and squeeze. This supply zone is pretty strong looking, in my opinion. We're actually at the 50% retracement of this move. So we need to put respect on that. Drop below. Let's delete this since that one's gone. The 273 level was perfection. And then there you go. There's that 2-to-1 rate win rate, guys, on the inverse head and shoulders, or the head and shoulders. Could have literally taken it right there. God, I'm gonna literally record those and see how many I can do in a month. And if it literally has that good of an accuracy, I'm literally gonna start taking them. All right, so that was a 2-to-1 risk to reward on inversing a head and shoulders on the minute candle. Oh, Microsoft, look at you, buddy. Little engine that could. I mean, it's hard to get in, like to buy the long side guys on like an intraday trade with no pullback is just reckless and bad practice. So I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to just flip long without any, significant pullback. But look at all those green candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 9 count candle strategy too for reversals. So 1030 is hit. Okay. So you got the 1030 strategy. If it bases above it with a couple candles, then it goes higher. Until then, there's going to be a chance or an an attempt at a reversal here. AMD just squeezed through all that structure, and now it has free reign to go up to 518, by the way. Impressive. I'm not going to take any additional trades, but if you wanted to try the 1030 strategy, it's literally just high a day as a short setup. Like high a day and then a 1 minute candle close over it. I'm going to practice discipline and not overtrade. You know, that's what kind of move is that? It's a 50-cent move. And options are, you know, that's a 10, 15, 20% trade on that strategy. There you go. There's a dollar move now with that strategy. It's like 20% on a scalp. But it's very easy. It has over 60% win rate too. At 1030, you draw the high and low, and then like 2 5-minute candle closes above it, and it goes higher. And you scalp the breakout. Until then, you short the setup, especially when you see like 1030 and you see multiple candles, like a structure zone. Like this is a structure zone, right? This is more than 15 minutes of structure. That's actually a 15-minute candle right here. That's going to close in what? Oh, that's 8 minutes. That's a long time. Maybe a 10-minute candle. Nope, not even. They didn't set that up right. Okay, whatever. Yeah, that was an easy 15 to 20% on a scalp though. All right, it's 10:30. So the back end of the hour, are we going to be bullish or bearish? I'm so impressed at Microsoft's strength at 15%. It's quite impressive. Uh, I, I'm open for it to be bottomed, Daniel, but I need certain levels to be broken above. I need to see SPY over 745, 747 for me to really think the bottom is in. Like that's the key level. And then I need Bitcoin and Ethereum to break out of their supply zones. So I need Bitcoin over 67.3 and Ethereum over, 2050. If I can see all three of those, the bottom is in. But I like literally, guys, you got to realize that what's happening is actually what I've called. It's just, like, it's way out of like the Bollinger Band of my analysis. I said we dip into FOMC and then we rally the last 2 days of the week and then we crash next week or we crash into Friday close. Like, I'm not joking. I have that written down in Discord. I think I've even talked about it on X. So it's actually playing out the way I thought it would. It's just these moves are so much more aggressive each way than I anticipated. Right? Like if we didn't like if we yesterday our Discord members know this, but yesterday on QQQ, if we did not have this last minute aggressive sell off, we would have literally been super long into today and tomorrow. I think everyone knows that, right? We bought the 61% retracement for Friday. And then they did this sweep right here at the last minute on some foul play. And we still went long into the close, right? But I was already anticipating a green today and a green tomorrow. So what we did was we bought the bottom. We sold the top. We literally sold the top right up here. We were fucking slinging it. We got like 260%, 360% plus puts here. And then literally we bought the 61% retracement because there was structure down here that was already made. And then they're like, nah. And then they played this super foul play, like obvious, shouldn't be being done. And then they gap us up and then they slingshot it higher. But everything I'm saying has been forecasted, right? I said exactly how this is going to play out. I just didn't expect this right here. If this did not happen, we would be so like we're green on the week. We just had like I mean the people that took the trades after hours yesterday is green from yesterday, and then we're barely green today. Um, After this crazy move right here from 680, 676. Um, but if they didn't do this, I would have literally called everything. I didn't even realize I was at inverse head and shoulders, by the way. I'm not too confident they're going to dump this, guys. Just a heads up. They are not playing very nice. At this point, we're at 739. 741 is only $2 away. Our QQQ is holding on for its dear life with the stop loss at 264. Oh, there we go. Here's an attempt at a lower low. We got to see how the end of the day plays out, Lebanese. I'm bearish below 440. Does Microsoft hold above 440 into the close? Because I can't be like, oh, I'm bullish now, and then it sell off, and then it's below 440 into the close, right? It doesn't make sense to be like, am I bullish or bearish in the first half of the day? We need to see how the second half of the day plays out. Hey guys, what about that 1030 strategy? Did anyone take that? Let me know. Did anyone take that 1030 strategy? Anybody? I just gave you free game. It's a $2 move so far. When I say these strategies, you got to take into consideration the risk to reward, right? I don't want to overtrade, so I'm practicing not overtrading. But what was the risk there? 20 cents. You know what I mean? That was a really good risk to reward to initiate the strategy. Yeah, I'm holding them too. We almost got stopped out. I put the stop loss in for 264. They're up to 325 now. So just by holding right there, we just got like 30% of it back. It went to like 267. It was like three pennies away from getting stopped out, but we did it, boys. What are you doing, Microsoft? Go fuck yourself. Well, okay. Okay, AMD. A little melt off. How many dollar drop is that? $6 drop. Let me see. I haven't looked at. Probably should have. So probably around this low. If I had to guess, it'll drop down, create another fake head and shoulders, and then rally to the new highs. That's a smart move. So we have 10 minutes till this candle close, and it looks like it's going to develop. Oh, well, let me actually get out of 24 hours. It looks like they're going to develop a structure zone for each of these, and then it's whatever direction it picks from there. So they're both creating a structured zone, and then whatever direction it takes, which is the 1030 strategy, remember? So after 1030, if it breaks above this, then it's going to continue. It might widen them up. It might widen that structured zone up, to be honest. Okay. All right. So with like a strategy like this, guys, what you want to pay attention to when you're day trading, what you'll do is like if we get a bleed like this, you just hold it until one candle makes a higher high. Especially if you're in like intradays, right? Because you don't want to be part of a big reversal candle. Like soon as one candle makes a higher high than the previous candle, you get out of it. Right? Like I'll sit here and I'll monitor this and act as if I was doing it. Because it most likely it's going to reverse right here and it's going to create a fake head and shoulders, and then we're going to rally in the second half of the day. That's the bullish scenario here. Okay. So let's see what happens here. So if you see a higher high off this candle, you immediately close something. And that's the strategy, right? Like that's how you fast day trade. You don't need the whole move. You wait for the meat of it. And then as soon as it gives a signal of the weakness is at least stuttering, then you get out. We need to see a meltdown like this with Microsoft. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so SPY is running into its ascending support. Actually, what in the world is that? It's not an ascending support, is it? No. I don't know what that is. That's a Fugazi. It's a Fugazi. It's a Fugazi. Okay. All right. So possible reversal here, guys. Let's pay attention. Let's see what happens. You could be in any one of these names, and as long as it doesn't make a higher high on the candle structure, you hold it. I'm thinking we hit something here, and you're going to see a higher high candle structure. It could fake you out, but like that's the majority of this. I'm thinking that these are both going to hit at the same time, and then this is the bottom. And then it's probably going to shoot back up and then create a fake head and shoulders. And then okay, here's a bottom up candle attempt. We're close to having a candle close. So if you shorted that 1030, right? This is literally the strategy. You would have been holding this entire time. And as soon as we get a higher candle, you close. You would have waited for the bleed. As soon as the bleed happens, and when the bleed stops, you close. So now let's see what happens. Okay. That's a $4 move, guys. And some options, that's probably an 80% play. Okay, keep melting. We need to see Microsoft drop. Let Microsoft drop. Like I said, I think there's going to be a reversal here. So this is where you would close the soon as the bleeding stops, right? Soon as you have a higher high candle in the 1 minute. There's no way this doesn't get higher high on. There's no way. Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. Because there's no structure, guys. All we're looking at right now is moving averages. So here's the next moving average. This is where we're targeting. There's a little bit of structure here. And that's actually market open. Is this market open? Right, here's market open. Something right there. Okay. So reset to market open, guys. Look at that. Isn't that wild? I mean, we don't have the same play with QQQ though. QQQ's fucking market open is down here. Come back here. Give this to us. Come give this to us, guys. You know what I mean? All right. What are we doing? Oh my god. All right, here it comes. Come on now. The bleeding's going to stop like right here. I swear it. Let's see what happens. Are we going to do a full reversal? All right, here it comes. Here it comes. Okay. SMT divergence. We got a higher high here, but we didn't get a higher high here. Bleeding's not stopped until SPY hits this. And then there you go. And then you would close it. What was that, a $3 or $4 move off that strategy? So you saw the head and shoulders inversing strategy for a 2-to-1 ratio, and then you saw a 10-to-1 ratio for the 1030 strategy. I didn't take either of them, unfortunately, but If you were bullish on the day, there's your dip. I'm not going long, but if you're bullish on the day, there's your dip. Just a heads up. SR flip from yesterday's high. If you were bullish in the day, that's your dip. Okay, so no new intraday low on Microsoft. Okay, this can get tasteful. All right, we're pretty green now, guys. Pretty green. Not as green as I was, but we'll see. Microsoft's got to do a lot of work to get me back to where I was. It's got to double from here. Okay, so here's SPY at market open, 9:30 open. Bullish above it, bearish below it. It's the 736, guys. You remember that level? 736? We're like right there. There can be an overshoot, but this is where it would reverse, right? It's either resistance or support. Was it an SR flip or was it a look above and fell? Psychologically, is it a look above and fell, right? If you see a reversal here, it's probably real, guys. Just a heads up. Is this a look above and fell? Or is it an SR flip? Seeing some basing. There's already 3 candles here. 3 candles here because there's long stepping in here. The QQQ puts are only down like 17% now, 20%. If you wanted to close them. All right, let's see where the downtrend is. Downtrend is right here, the red cloud on SPY. Above this is a trend change. So we have the market open on SPY and the back test of the 736, 735 level that I talked about, literally right here. Right here, 735. 735, 736, I'm looking to close my longs, but a possible squeeze can happen. Regardless, I'm bearish under 741. That's the thesis. Didn't change. Where are we at? We broke above. We rallied. We got a squeeze. We got a squeeze at 739. We're selling off. We are back testing 735, 736. Is this a look above and fell or is this an SR flip? Okay, so this is a trend change. So this is a bullish looking bottom. Okay. This could be longs with the stop loss of low day right here on or intraday low on this. I mean, it's already $1 away now, but you get the drift. Do not re-add any shorts here. Okay. The time to short was literally right here when I was telling you the strategies. Right. This is where you possibly long. I don't even know what yen intervention means, Peter, to be honest. Come on, build this inverse head and shoulders out, guys, because what's that mean? If there's an inverse head and shoulders, what's it mean? It means lower. All right, I might take this. I might add a short. No, fuck. I'm ADHD, guys. I want to play the game. I want to play the video game. All right, there's your inverse head and shoulders. Okay, let's play the game. I'm not going to take it for real, but I'm going to take it right here on screen. I'm going to paper trade this. All right, I'm entering. Candle close here. Let's get a 2-to-1. 2-to-1 is my purple line. Okay, there you go. There's the trade. All right, let's see if it plays, guys. Or is it just going to go right now? Or is it going to sweep the top like last time? Like the inverse? Nice job, Alex. I'm still on the freaking 30-second chart of Microsoft. Whoopsie. Now this one wasn't as strong because it wasn't inverse head and shoulder setup on QQQ. Let's see if it plays out. Got to see the two candle closes. Okay, so it closed, and now like just a single penny print above this, and you would close it. Oops. I think QQQ wants my 676 level. Wow. It's starting to look like it. AMD with a Head and Shoulders? What? And 2 for 2, guys. Inversing the Head and Shoulders and inverse Head and Shoulder setup. You guys see that? Isn't that kind of crazy? So now if we start this bleed, we would do the candle strategy, right? So you're still in it, right? Even though you hit it, you're not going to close it until you get a higher high candle. Could be right here. You got Microsoft making a new low, guys. The decay on that, though, is very irritating. Okay, it's about to close here. So this, I don't see a world where this next candle doesn't breach this one. So you would get your 2 to 1 risk to reward. Should be closing any second. In 10 seconds. So this is acceptance under 735, 736, guys. You see this, right? So if anything, this is going to be a back test and then a rejection. That we should melt again. I think QQQ goes for 736 or 676. Look at this. I think I'm going to be right. So this is acceptance under. Okay? 735, 736. We broke down. We're starting to melt. They even did it on an inverse head and shoulder setup to get liquidity for buyers to buy in here. That's annoying. This could be just an SR flip, but I would still close it on the candle structure if it closes above this. People are stepping in now. This could be a breakdown back test. That's a big squeeze on QQQ, but this is some structure here. Let's see what happens here. So you got your 2 to 1 on the reversing and inverse or head and shoulders. Any type of head and shoulders patterning on the 1 minute. 2 for 2 on trades. I really think QQQ wants 676 again. That's like a 30% retracement. It'll take it down to like 2%, 2.10%. We got Microsoft finally making a new low, but that damn decay is not doing us any justice. How much of a percent drop does it need for in the money? We need like a $5, $6 drop. Then it'll really start showing us appreciation. Yeah, we need 4%. That we need Microsoft down to 9% from 15%. Here's the little back test. Let's see what hourly candles look like. Are we out of our range? So we broke these structure zones, guys. You see that? Is this an hourly? No, that's not an hourly. This is the open. It's the open. QQQ hasn't even started dropping really yet. If you look at value area lows, about 674.50. We're under the VPOC of the day, so bearish under this. Bearish under. If QQQ actually sees 676 today, that would be such a high. Like if you were an intraday trader, that's where you would actually try to go long for sure. If we started accepting under that, we could literally see like a thing from yesterday, which would be wild. What am I doing? It's really fighting for the 735, 736 level. If this is bullish on the day, when they're ready, they're literally just going to buy all the way up to the highs. It's going to be so obnoxious. These freaking reversals on the miners are wild. 26% on IREN, 19% on HUT, 17% on Mara, 21% on Riot. Like they're so rude with it. Let's see what the structures look like. So this is my buy zone. And it unfortunately like triggered right below it and then sweeped. Sweeped. I don't know, guys. I almost want to short these. I'm not even kidding. Like throw like August 16th, like just buy one and just see what it does. Because I'm not confident until Bitcoin breaks above this. And at this moment, it's just a back test. And my thesis is we crash into next week, like a really bad one. Yeah, because essentially all we're doing is filling this gap out a little bit on the mega cap chart. And we've did it. We've got it done. But listen, if we were meant to be bullish, this inverse head and shoulders would have played out, because only less than 5% of traders look at this chart. So no one even knew there was an inverse head and shoulders set up on the chart. And in my opinion, we got a measured move here. And a measured move is 10% away for the mega caps. Does anyone know if any mega caps are reporting today after close or after or Friday? Come on, Microsoft. Do the damn thing. Break down a little bit for me. Throw that ass in a circle. All right, so we got an elongated head and shoulders here on the SPY. That's not what I prefer to see. And is this an inverse? Oh, this is an inverse head and shoulders, guys. Let's play the game. Oh, looks like it's literally going to happen immediately. I wasn't paying attention, but it looks like it's literally happening right now. There you go. 3 for 3 with reversing the head and shoulders pattern trade on the 1 minute candle. You can't make this up, guys. How crazy is that? 3 for 3. All right, I'll take a look at their charts in a second. Do you guys see reversing that? That's 3 for 3. And I don't know how many times I've called it on the stream in the last just 2 weeks in general, though. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen it like 90% win rate for the last 2 weeks every time I stream. And now I just did it in front of you guys for like literally like legitimate, hey, let's get technical with this with a risk to reward trade. Saucy. If I had to be honest, though, this is starting to happen all too slow. Or they wouldn't slow grind it. No, that's trapping of shorts, I think. Trapping of this shorts. This head and shoulders on AMD is looking a little crazy. I can't swear by the statistic on like individual names, but we'll see. And this is a lopsided head and shoulders on Microsoft. So we have a head and shoulders technically on both Microsoft and AMD. That's almost trappy. It's almost trappy. What are we looking at with other names? Do we have more trapping? Do we have more trapping going on? Oh, look, a head and shoulders on Tesla. I knew that was going to be a sell. Head and shoulders. Kind of a head. Inverse head and shoulders on Apple. Interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff. Inverse head and shoulders on Netflix. So we got inverse head and shoulders on Netflix and Apple, and then we have a head and shoulders on Microsoft, AMD, and Tesla. I would like to see how these play out for study purposes. Okay, we got VIX at $19. Okay, we need to pay attention to that. Its pivot is 1917. If we break above that, the market should start to melt again. What is my rule for VIX on a weekly close? Does anyone know? So this is a bottom or a breakdown right here, guys. Just giving you guys a heads up. It's all on VIX. All eyes on VIX. Let me show you what I see. So we got some pivot tree here, right? Are we going to get a higher high? If we get a higher high, it's probably going to squeeze. Okay, we got to pay attention to that. If it squeezes, we're going to go up to the supply zone. Then the market might bottom here, and that might point to a 676 on QQQ. I want to see it drop to 10% on Microsoft. I think we get that. I think we get green on our calls. What would that be? 10%. 15, 45, $17. Anyways. We're looking at 430 for us to get to. So back to the gap close. What would that get us, guys? Let's see what that gets us. Oof. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's money. That is about a 500% move if it happens by 2 o'clock in the next hour. And then if they do it by 2 o'clock, it would be 338. So about 300% move. If we got it. That's some hopium. Let's see what happens. Getting a little bit of rejection here on the VIX, which isn't what you want to see, at least if you're me. I would almost say that this is probably how it's going to close. That's going to be a structured zone, and then it's going to pick a direction. So one of two plays is what I'm thinking. I think we close the day around 4:45. Okay. Or we close at low day. That's my thought process. This is currently a structured zone. Okay. If we close at 4:45, it's where do we close from there? What direction do we take from there? Okay. Sometimes when it's very obvious, we should have taken the $15 one. I wouldn't be short in the $20 range from here. I can tell you that. Have they had enough, or are they just going to rip it? When you see candles like that, right, guys? Let me put the volume on. When you see candles like that, and it's like the highest volume, so right here, this is short's opportunity. A break above this, and then longs go long for a while. So shorts just tried. Do they hold that level? If they hold that level, then they'll take control for the next couple minutes. If the longs break above this, it's supply and demand. They're stronger than the current shorts that are stepping in. Okay, so 736 is the level, right? Kind of a hard rejection there. All right. They're setting up another inverse head and shoulders. Just be aware of that. All right. So 735, 736, you can see it basing, right? You can see the break above and back test. It's a huge range, but it's still there. So just be mindful of that. If we start accepting over 737, it was a base, it was a back test, and it's a break above. We have 18 minutes. I would prefer not to see candles that look like this or this, but it may be the truth. It may be happening. You have Microsoft just grinding higher. It's a little bit of a lopsided inverse head and shoulders on QQQ. It's almost like, it's hard to say with this one, but if you wanted to try the setup, I would do it like a right around here and then above like 737.11 and then back to low of day. What is that? That's a 2.8, 2.8, almost a 3-to-1 ratio. But I feel like this right shoulder is going to get filled. See, I don't know. Like QQQ hasn't even filled its out. It's a little sketch. Maybe it's ideal to like never do the one that is already presenting itself and then do the one that has not once it gets there. Like the more promising one would be like QQQ because it's filling out late. And then all right, let's see. Can actually increase that to where it's like 2-to-1. So you have a little bit more leeway. All right, there's the two trades. Let's make that a 2-to-1. There we go. It's asking for too much as well. 2-to-1. Right. I'm gonna go grab a drink really quick. I'll be right back. So you guys can see there that VIX marked the bottom of that, right? It's like right here. Bottom and top, bottom and top, bottom and top. Right the line. So where is VIX now? That's literally a supply zone or demand zone, sorry. What the hell is that? And a breakout above it. Okay. Is this gonna be like a full round trip for the inverse head and shoulder trades? Because now this one's evened out. So we got to see what happens here. But so you have VIX falling in demand. Be cool if it was like a lot cleaner. Oh, the 30-second chart looks better than the freaking 1 minute. What in the world? Okay, there you go on that. And then a break below this, and then the market gets really bullish. Break below 18. Okay, so QQQ. There you go, 3 for 3 with QQQ. And that one needed to be filled out better, right? That's what that's telling us. It needed to be filled out. So the second one was more accurate than the first one. This market's very irritating. These wild swings. They're so like they've created a strategy to just fight retail, which means directional moves until it's done. And then when it's done, then directional move again. No pullbacks, just directional moves. Straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. $736 defended. High days inevitable in my opinion. Let's see how far this goes in this. So the QQQ reverse trade worked. The SPY one didn't necessarily yet. I think this is just going to play out. Mainly the inverse one worked because it came last. The SPY was already too developed. 675 for the measured move if we start melting. $23%. And now in supply at 23%. It's a big move though. Holy crap. Company is this? So I'm gonna try charting. What might? SR flip, probably get up to this 1300 level. Oh, fuck. Let's see what these hourly candles look like. Are you kidding me? So they look bullish to me. Thought we'd get like one more hourly candle down, but nah, doesn't appear so. Look at that squeeze. Back to high days. You could try to do a short right here on Microsoft with that candle right there. That's a $1 risk. It's a reversal candle in the gap and the purple line. If you see a follow-up red candle here, you could try a scalp trade here. We need another rejection before you could take it though. That's an impressive move, I must say. 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth resistance line. Damn, it's storming outside. Okay. Wait, what kind of... I think that's... Is that a real candle? Oh, it is, okay. This is very impressive. I'm looking at 427 Microsoft puts tomorrow expiration. I'm just going to... Yeah, all right, I'm taking this at 45 cents. So this is a different Microsoft put. I'm doing this as a swipe. I'm literally just going to look back down here for the gap fill. Or if we start squeezing higher, I'm just going to close it. I got them at 45 cents. SPY, look at SPY, bro. It just literally right through the supply zones intradays. Like this is what they did yesterday. They rallied it and then they cut through the supply zones, the demand zones that they created below. Very impressive. And it looks like VIX is about to break below this structured zone as well. I mean, trading against the trend. We rally till tomorrow at this point. Let's see what happens here. It's the VIX right here. If it makes a new low, we rally. It's a possibility that it's like a triple bottom, but and a triple top in the indexes, but it's a big ask. So Bitcoin hasn't went anywhere. Ethereum hasn't went anywhere. We're starting to run into resistance with HSI. Actually, that's not that great. That's not that good of a deal. I don't like that too much. So 15%. US 30-year broke out. That's not good. On the daily, we have an inside candle. We're in an inside candle, but most importantly, we're in a demand zone, but we're at the bottom end of it. So it's like, we're going to break it. We're so close. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, there's a little bit of a bleed here. You guys remember the 1030 strategy, by the way? Where was that even at? Holy crap. So long ago. Oh, we're literally at the 1030. Oh, duh. Derp. 1030 strategy. High day for your short. Now it's like, does it base back above it in the second half of the day for the continued rally? It did like what, a half back? Yeah, that's fair. Okay, VIX is trying to wake up a little bit. Okay, anyways, VIX. Let's see. Nothing important there, nothing there. Let me actually fix these a little bit. There you go. So here's a supply zone right here. Kind of sitting in it. Right? I guess I could draw it for you guys. This is like on also the halfway level. And then there's a high probability resistance up here at like 741. And then I can get really bullish above some other levels, but let's go ahead and look. Do we have any like major resistances? You can see essentially there's been like a descending resistance here on SPY on the 4-hour. Pretty sure there's a really bad one on QQQ on like the daily. Yeah, right here. I think we'll get like a crazy rally on this. Most likely what's going to happen is we're going to rally at the end of the day and we're going to touch this and we're going to reject tomorrow at some point in the second half of the day or at the beginning of the day. So just be aware of that. Be careful. Be mindful. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Right on the SPX, right into supply. We got to break over these levels. All right, on the daily. It's like so clean right here too. There you go. So until we can get above 742, 741, 742, we're literally a victim of this supply zone right now. And this is an inside candle. Now, given QQQ literally broke out, but now it's in supply, right? I didn't fix that. Did I? In the world? Okay, there we go. And this supply zone got invalidated the intraday one. So let me just remove that, clean up this a little bit. 50% retracement. Market open, 100-day moving average. Okay, that's all fair. Yeah, this is major supply right here. Inside candle on the SPX hasn't made a break of structure. Not too confident on that. Now, given I said that I thought that we would be led by QQQ, and we are being led by QQQ, but now we're in a supply zone as well, so we need to be mindful of that for the risk there. PM oils looks like it's might actually break down again. Inverse head and shoulders on silver, and in a very important level. I think this rally soon. Same thing with gold. Look at that. Wild. So wild. Head and shoulders on QQQ. Is that going to play out? Probably not. There's only one, though. It's not on SPY. Yeah, it just looks like it wants to squeeze. Microsoft at a daily level on the RSI. Let's play the game. Let's see what we got here and see if I'm correct, where they just hold it to the high and then they reverse it the next day. And this one. All right. So 3 times RSI has been this high since October 2025. Let's see what has happened the last 3 times. So on this one, immediate top. You guys see this? On this one, a little bit higher and then grinded lower. We went higher eventually. You know, but from that high, it saw a 7% drawdown. And then right here, big crash. So 2 times, this one, my Lord, look at that drop. So the last time the RSI was this high, it dropped 35%. Then this time it dropped 7%. And this time it dropped 25% at this level. And this is what I warned and I was telling you guys, right? Like, I think they're going to just hold this up, because also that's not even based on this pretty baby right here, which is marked tops every single time. So until the indicator, custom indicator, goes higher than this, my bias is this is a bull trap. We skipped 3 levels. We're currently at this line that has caused resistance, right? We're at 455. So let's see if we sell off any today. But most importantly, we're at a daily RSI that has marked tops, right? 3 times in almost the last year. Major tops. And there we are. So for the Microsoft bulls, okay, be careful. You know, like I think all of my stuff is too soon. We won't be able to hold those overnight. Given that it's at 16%, like it's like, are they really going to sell it off much more than that? They're going to hold it at high of the day just to make sure people close out their puts. That's most likely what's going to happen. Is it 540? I don't remember. 440. QQQ is showing more weakness than SPY. Maybe it's already hit its key level, but then SPY has to grind higher. I'm losing patience with these new Microsoft puts, by the way. I mean, they're only down 10% if I try to sell. Odds of that actually just working out is so low now. That's that, which is 767. Microsoft won't give you a break. Not today, at least, I don't think. I'll be very surprised. I'm looking for just like 10, 15% on these new contracts just to help with some of the collateral damage here. Let's see what we got here. It's like VIX is sitting here basing. I have 20 minutes for it to do something more than just be a freaking small ass count. There it is. You guys see this move? 1030 strategy, guys. You see that? If I was like a scalp trader rather than trying to get these large directional moves, like there'd be like 5 wins there. So QQQ is at its ascending support for the day. So if it gives this level up, we should see a nice little drop. If it supports here, we're most likely going to see a VIX breakdown of this $18 level, and then we rally into the close. Okay, here's some bleeding. We can see this 677 on QQQ. Microsoft's so annoying. It went so hard. Oh, there's QQQ finding some support. Clean that up. That's just gibberish at this point. No, nothing valuable there. Yeah, measure move. Purple line. Purple line here. What's the direction? All right, here comes 677, I think. I think Q wants at 677. That AMD kind of looks like that Head and Shoulders might actually play out here, guys. If anyone wanted to scalp that and then do like right here, how many dollars is that? Yep, right there. Because the neckline's breaking right here. Go for the purple line, 47. I don't know. That might be too big. 2%. You can go for like 1%, like 475, 476. And then do the candle strategy. These need to break down first, though, to be honest. I got to go in about 10, 15 minutes. I got to run some errands. If we can break down here, I think QQQ dives down to 677. That'd be the measured move too. This is such a tight candle. Lebanese, if you read my posts, okay? So yesterday, because you guys are asking a lot of questions, if you just look at my timeline, you'll see what I said, right? So here you go. Bullish above 733 for the intraday. Okay. Let's take a look at what happened here. Let me, like, my thesis doesn't change, guys. You guys got to like read this stuff, okay? Let's just make this a little easier. Let me do this. Okay. So at 11:06, I say bullish above 733. Okay. So let's look at yesterday. 11:06 is right here. Okay. It's 730. As price is at 734, right? I say bullish above 733. Low is 731. So as soon as we reclaimed 733 right here, you see this? Break above, back test, go long. We did. Look at this, okay? I said bullish above 733 over here. We break under it. 733 is right here. We break above, back test, higher high, we went long. Wrote it to the top, okay? And then I said that we were bearish here. We went bearish. And then we went and did the 61% retracement. So then my team, we went down here and we bought it here. And then it literally just knife dropped. So then it took away all of our gains for the day. But essentially, I said intraday, right? Bullish above 733. Okay, now let's look again. Above 730, and this is a significant bottom. Below is the gatekeeper to lower prices. Okay, so this is a macro level call. Let's see where 730 is. Okay, 730 is right here. Where have we went? We broke above it in pre-market. We back tested 730. Look at this, guys. 730. It broke below it, looked below it, failed, broke above it in pre-market and overnight. Back tested 730. Look at this. 730. Where we went, 9 points higher. What does the market look like? Miners are up 15, 20%, 30%, right? What about some of these names? Microsoft's up 16%, AMD is up 12%. I didn't change my thesis. You guys just got to read, right? Let me take a look at this really quick. Yeah, so I didn't change my thesis. I was right here. I was right here, right? Now let's look at this, guys. I was talking about all this stuff even the day before, right? All of this stuff was right. All of these levels, every single one of them. Like I called all of these. Look at this. Then what did I say? I said something around here. QQQ wants 690. Now, given this was before the fuckery, but we're at 684. Yesterday, when I posted that, people were like, what? You know, at 12:55 p.m. 12:55 p.m. yesterday. Where's that at? Right here. 667. Near the low, right? We broke below all the other lows. We're like literally we're at the low. Look at this. We're below everything. We've made a new low. At the new low, I said QQQ went 690. Everyone's bearish here. Everyone's freaking out. Market's crashing. What do we do? This is your guys' mentality yesterday. This is Twitter's mentality yesterday. I said QQQ went 690. We're at 684 today. My thesis doesn't change, guys. You just have to read. What about this? I gave you guys an if conditional tonight, right? With today's manipulation, unless we get a full reversal on the daily candle, we see low over the next 10 trading days. Okay. What has QQQ done? It's broke above it. We need both confirmations. We need SPY's breakout too. It's got to hike. It's got to break that 743. But I've already been talking about 742, right? Remember that, guys? 742. I've been talking about this. Got to break above this level. Got to break above this level. Then it's 745 and 747. Even above here, I can get bullish for a little bit. And then above 745, 747, then I think we go to new highs. Right? Do you guys hear that? The gods are fighting outside. I still think this happens. My thesis didn't change. Okay, heads up here. All right, we're starting to see green and we're seeing this go red on the VIX. I mean, I'm really just starting to believe that they don't let anyone win. They're just going to grind it higher. I'm really starting to think that. I would like to see them at least drop this, but they're not playing very nice. And this looks like it's about to break. 610, literally 6 pennies away from breaking it. Let's see what happens. Like, I'm giving you guys a lot. I'm giving X a lot more than I should. There is so much value in my profile if you just literally read it. Like, I mean, it's all right here. This was crazy, right? I literally called the bottom here, called the top here, called the bottom here. All in overnight. And there goes SPY. Everything grinding higher. I mean, at this point, like I said, it's only $2 away. It's just grinding out everyone's stuff. Oh, there's a break below that. That's not. I mean, that's good for a rally. Sorry. Let me clear the air on that one. Most likely, the only trade left today is the end of day. We're probably going to squeeze up to resistance, and then you short tomorrow with tomorrow or like next Monday expirations or future puts, and then you trade the overnight. That's literally what they're doing. They're going to squeeze this all the way. They're not going to let anyone out, any shorts out. They're going to squeeze it to the trade. They're going to finish the trade into the close, and then they're going to drop it overnight. This fixed breakdown will probably cause a squeeze. Probably about to see some green candles across the board. There's like no structure down here. Let's take a look at VIX. Yeah, there's literally, it's just a double bottom. Triple bottom, quadruple bottom. That's essentially what it is. I'm in Florida. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Check the meta post, Lebanese. I made a post. I personally am not buying anything except MSTR, BABA, and Tesla. I'm waiting because I'm still bearish bias. I think that this could very much be a bull trap. So I've been patient. You know, like you guys got to realize, like, how many bangers did I post a month ago? Right? I think I was 24 for 25 trades in my swing trade account, and I posted all of them everywhere. So like that account's good. You guys got to realize, like I'm good for the year, right? So it's about patience now. There's no squeezing the juice out of a trade, right? I'm a macro pivot trader. Like read my bio, right? I find algorithms in the market and trade macro pivots. Okay. I waited months for this window, this 6-week window. I was hibernating. Yeah, I'm in Tampa as well. Oh, wow. You guys are all in Florida. Spring Hill, Tampa. That's awesome. But I sat here. Yep, exactly. Speed Racer in Discord. But nevertheless, I sat here for months dormant, hibernating. And then I came out blasting with over 90% accuracy because that's literally what the fuck I have because I wait and time the market. So the easy trades are super done. Okay. At a discounted price, I'm waiting for discounted prices. All right. Now I'm waiting. And then my next big trade is the Tesla trade. And if that hits, literally, I already pulled my HELOC on my house out. Like that's how confident I am with my levels. And now I'm just day trading the market and live streaming for you guys, right? And this has been a little bit difficult. Like I've made thousands of dollars every week, and I'm not joking. Every single day except Monday, I've given back over 50%. And it's me over trading, to be honest. But that's also because half of my team on Discord doesn't even have futures trading, and I was already done this morning. I didn't even have to trade today, right? I 3x my daily goal, right? Which I'll even tell you guys out loud. It's $1,000, right? $1,000 a day is 30K a month. That's more than fine. Because I'm not even a day trader. I've actually recently gotten really good at it, so that might change. I need to be more cognizant to checking my data and reviewing my data so that I can actually refine that. But for years, I mean, I tried trading in like 2016, 2019. I was like, no, I'm good. This isn't me. And ever since I stopped trading. But the last couple months, I've gotten extremely good at it. I'm just making the simple mistake of overtrading, which can be refined if I just look at it, right? But with that being said, I'm uneasy about buying anything at this levels with the charts looking like this, and this can very much be a bull trap. So I'm gonna wait on it, and see what happens here. I'm over these Microsoft. They've annoyed me. Oh, that was actually pleasant. No, okay, got it. It's becoming apparent now. If they do drop it at the end of the day, but there's not news, guys. If they do drop it, then I apologize, but I'm over this. Quite frankly, my bias has been for the last 2 hours. I think that they grind it higher. I was looking for a dip. They're not giving it. Like they gave us the dip, honestly, and I said it when it happened. But from here, I'm good. I'm gonna close those 427 Microsofts. I have the QQQ put with the stop loss of 264. It's literally went full round tripped. It's probably going to get stopped out. It's at 264. I'm going to leave it there just in case. Let's see. I mean, it's literally at this point like $13 a contract out. Barely green on the day. My bad. I shouldn't have taken trades after the open. And then let me see for the Microsoft for tomorrow for 25s. What do we do? They're so ugly. I'm going to stop loss all of them except a runner at 22 cents. They're at like 26 right now. And then I'm just going to come back and I'm going to trade the night. I'm literally probably going to make all this back tonight. That's what they're going to do. They're literally going to wherever they stop the end of the day. If they stop at a high date, that's resistance. It's probably 741, 742 on SPY. And that's where I'll look to short. Because you can see at this point, right? QQQ is already at resistance and it's struggling. It's making lower high, lower high, lower high. SPY is making higher high, higher high because it needs to finish its move. I think QQQ has already made its move. And now SPY needs to make its. And most likely, guys, when we close today, VIX is going to be at 1750. What happens at 1750? Spike, 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 spike. Do you guys see this? Since July 23rd. Let's play the game. What happens at 1750? Oh, we're all the way up here. Remove this ugliness. All right, let's play the game. All right, so spike here. Sorry, spike here, right? What happened? 745 to 735. So spike here. What about this one? 743 to 737. What? We already got that one. No, we didn't get this one. Okay. This one, 746 to 735. What about this one? Right? It kind of grinded sideways where it's still at like 742, 743. And eventually when it spiked, oh, look at that. 742 to 743. Then we hit it again yesterday, 742, 726. Okay. So what they're going to do is the obvious, right? They're going to squeeze us all day. They're going to literally finish the move at the end of the day. They're going to put VIX at 1750, and then we're literally going to crash tomorrow. Do you guys see it? Do you see the play? Do you guys see it? It's quite obvious at this point. They've done it all week. Why would they change it? Like, why would they change it? There's no point, right? They're nasty. They've recently changed their algorithm. They've released a new algorithm. They're controlling the markets a different way in the last few weeks. Straight nasty though, right? And that might happen before it closes, so just be aware. All right, I am heading out of here. I got to run some errands. Discord, I will be back and I will message the Discord if I see anything. Does anyone have any questions before I leave? I'll stay an extra 5 minutes. The tier system, the membership tier system, it's essentially, it just rewards loyalty at this point. It's for the people that sign up and then they stay. You know, like you can sign up for the tier 2 because that's the only one available. But I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure there's only a few spots of that one left now. There's been so many people that signed up over the last 30 days, which thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate that. But it just rewards loyalty because a lot of people will subscribe and unsubscribe, right? And eventually, as it gets larger, the community gets larger, which it's blown up. Like literally, the first tier sold out within like 30 days, and the second tier is like 90% sold out now. But historically, people will like sign up for 2 months and then make their money, and because the Discord's mainly been a swing trading platform, so it's slow and based, right? Like I will literally we'll sit on our hands for 8 months, but then triple our accounts in 2 months. And those people will I've noticed a lot of people will just subscribe and then unsubscribe. And I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty rude, but whatever. So it's a tier system and it rewards loyalty. But, essentially you can subscribe to the second tier. And then if someone unsubscribes on the tier 1, then you can go rotate to that one for the cheaper one. But the first one's completely sold out. And then the second one's almost sold out. Any other questions? HOOD. Okay, I will look at HOOD. I mean, you got to realize that ultimately, actually, you know what? I'm not going to look at HOOD. I'm gonna just tell you what I think. I think you can DCA in whatever sympathy of crypto that you want, but I think Bitcoin eventually sees 58 to 61K over the next 10 to 15 days. I think, and sooner rather than later. Like I actually think like we sell off really bad till like August 5th, 6th, like late next week, and then we bottom. Whatever the level is here, whatever support levels that you have drawn on your chart, that's when you buy it. Right? Once Bitcoin gets under like 61K, draw your support levels on the charts that you want to buy, that's sympathy plays, and then buy at those support levels. Okay? But at the moment, this is nothing more than a breakdown of ascending and then backtest and then a breakdown. Right? Until we get above 67,300, until Ethereum gets above 2,100, until SPY gets above 747. I think it's 747. I can never remember like the total numbers. Yeah, 747. We're at risk. Like, I'm not bullish. I'm bearish bias. I've talked about this crash for weeks. We've experienced the crash for weeks. People's swing trade accounts, other than like my Discords, like I'm pretty sure like 80% of FinTwit is red on the month. Okay. Any other questions? Discord, YouTube, TikTok, X. Going once, going twice. Thank you, Speed Racer. And Lebanese, if you look at, I did post on Meta, and this is an interesting point, like an interesting price point. But I think there's better prices down. So if you're going to buy it, DCA with a medium to long term aspect. But then if it drops to my other levels, I think that's a short to medium term play. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys, I'm gonna go off here. See you later. Oh, actually, go show my X